Good evening. It is June. It is a Thursday. And it's time to read another Blizzard Entertainment article pertaining to Overwatch and matchmaking. Little spoiler alert, this article is gonna finally show a rank distribution that people have been asking for. If you're like on Twitter, people will show the Apex rank distribution. There's a disproportionate amount of people in Masters and Apex right now, and people are complaining about it. So they actually revealed a graph later, and we'll talk about that as we go along. With Season 5 now underway, we'll be bringing some new improvements to comp, including some matchmaking updates, bringing back a popular ranked game mode, as well as testing new ways for friends to play together regardless of their individual skill levels. Let's look at where competitive play stands today and where we're looking to take it in the months to come. By the way, this testing new ways for friends to play together is an uncapped 5v5 team mode that's coming in July, I believe, where you can group with anybody at any rank and queue as a 5-stack. But currently, competitive play. For the last few seasons, we've been working to make matchmaking improvements to matchmaking with the focus on competitive play in an effort to bring players of equal skill levels together. Notably, this season, we're starting to prioritize placing similar groups with wide skill ranges into the same match. While this makes queue times a little longer for large groups, it helps to ensure a fair match. In the previous season, we started to provide a matching rank to show how close each player is to the overall average skill rating of the lobby. So this is what happens when you queue into a rank game. In the center, right when it shows like both teams, in the center it'll say match rank, like an average rank, just so you know. Along with showing where you stand in your skill division and how close you are within reaching the next rank. That's right. Every time you get a skill update, it'll be like you are better than 69% of players in Diamond 3. You know, you guys have seen that, right? We hope this provides more transparency to your matches as well as your progression as you continue to climb. Game director Aaron Keller provided his thoughts on how one-sided gameplay can occur in the last Director's Take blog. I think I made a video on that too. It might be linked below. And we are continuing to make changes as we find opportunities for improvement. We want to continue to provide you with comp experiences for different play styles or styles of play, which is why for all of Season 5, Competitive Mystery Heroes is back. That's right. If you haven't logged in Season 5, you can play Competitive Mystery Heroes, calculating your skill rating after every match. Your internal matchmaking rating is adjusted after every match, not just when you get your comp update. It goes up when you win a game, and it goes down when you lose a game. However, how much it goes up or how much it goes down is based on a variety of factors that surround the match. Here are the 3 most important factors. What is your skill rating compared to your opponent's rating? Basically, if you are Diamond 3, and the average lobby is Masters, and the opponents are mostly Masters, and you got pulled into this lobby, if you win, you will earn more. If you lose, you will lose less. How new are you to Overwatch? This basically is sample size. If you are fresh into ranked and there's no previous data on your account, you will have very big swings in either direction. You will climb extremely fast because the game is still uncertain where you are, so it's throwing you into some matches just to see how you're faring, and it's trying to recalibrate as quick as you are. You'll see some big spikes here. How frequently do you play that specific competitive mode? So to address the first bullet, a player that can beat a stronger team will have a greater increase in their internal MMR, just like I said. The stronger the average matchmaking rating, or the MMR of your opponents, the more challenging it should be to win the match. While it's important to keep the average MMR rating of both teams as close as possible, very rarely are they actually precisely equal. We want to make sure that we can deliver fast queue times for everyone at all times, so sometimes there may be a greater difference between the 2 averages. Secondly, your experience and how much you are keeping up with your skills are also important factors. When a player is brand new and qualifies to play competitive play, our matchmaking system has very little information to assess their skill level, huh? Isn't that what I just said? In most cases, we can get a broad understanding of their current skill in as little as 5 games. Really? Which aligns to their first competitive update. But this is just a broad estimate. I guess I wonder how close and narrow. Maybe it's like a 80% accuracy after 5 games, they can kind of tell. Which is why new players will see their skill tier and division change frequently. This takes us to the third bullet point. The same can also apply to returning players who have been inactive for some time, which is why we remove their skill tier and division if they didn't play in that competitive mode or role for a whole season previously. Inactive players will have their MMR lowered during their absence. Will also increase our uncertainty rating the longer the player is inactive. That's good. If someone hasn't played in a long time and they come back, they're Diamond in 2018, they're probably not Diamond in 2023 because Diamond players got way better over time on average, right? So this uncertainty rating allows players to gain and lose MMR more quickly. So when the inactive player returns, they can jump back to the previous rank if they perform well, or they can lose it faster if their actual skill has decayed. Whether you are a new player or someone returning to Overwatch 2 after an extended break, the key is to keep playing games. The more you play, the more information we will have, then the more confident the matchmaker will be about your current skill division and tier. If these adjustments that change your MMR each game, it's these adjustments, sorry, that change, and it's with your current MMR that we determine what match is best for you every time you queue. I already have one gripe with the graph after looking at it. Going into Season 5, we've been seeing that there are more players in Grandmaster than in the past. This is happening for a few reasons. The biggest factor is that Overwatch 2 being free to play means we have more players coming into competitive than ever before, and this shifting the distribution of ranks. For our top ranks, we're seeing more players being able to reach and maintain higher ranks than they have before. This is a good thing, as it shows many of our players are growing in skill. In any case, we want to make sure we make the top ranks feel competitive, and while we think this distribution of ranks is working well in general, both Grandmaster and Bronze reflect a very wide range of skill, and we want to make sure that skill is well represented. Specifically, we have found that more players have ended up in Bronze 5 than we want. Anybody in Bronze 5, raise your hands. This is mostly an unintended side effect of adding MMR decay for inactive players in Overwatch 2. We've started making incremental adjustments in Season 5 to enable more players to climb out of Bronze 5 in a way that doesn't upset the distribution of the curve. This is an issue we plan to closely monitor in future weeks and season. My understanding is that because they give people a decay for older accounts, if someone in like silver or gold comes back, like Bronze 5, if you're truly a Bronze 5 player, that is the lowest rank in the game. You've got some work to do, but I mean, if you're enjoying the game, who am I to like, you know, who am I to roast you in that department? However, that being said, being a silver or gold player is a lot better than Bronze 5. But if you haven't played on an account in 2-3 years and you get decayed, it might have decayed you all the way to Bronze 5. And people playing in Bronze 5 are literally playing in ELO hell by that definition, because they're not actually playing against other true Bronze 5 players. They may be playing a bunch of previously inactive players that are actually gold and silver, and then they're just going to be running their head into the wall because it's actually really tough for them to climb out. I think if you make it a Bronze 5, it's going to be tough. You have to play like a silver or gold player to get out of Bronze 5. That's my understanding of that. Now, I skipped the graph and I'm going to go back to it. I said I had problems with this because where are the axis labels? Like what? Like the y-axis labels. This is like the shit you learn in like 3rd grade when you make a graph. If you don't have like a relative scale, it can be a big difference, right? What if I had this at like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? And this is like 1. The relative difference is just, doesn't it change quite a bit depending on how you change your intervals? I mean, it's just a distribution graph, I assume, which is like, you know, it's supposed to look like this, which is good. If you saw the Apex Legends graph, it's pretty bad. If it's a distribution, then the total is 100%. So can you kind of extrapolate? Do you think can you actually work backwards here? If all the bars add to 100, any smart people? Like at a first glance, it might look pretty healthy, because it looks like this. Have you guys, I want to show you the Apex one really quick. That's basically what they said here. That's not good. That's not good, guys. That's not a good distribution. Disproportionate amount of people in Rookie 4 and too many people in Masters because you can't decay. That is a terrible distribution, because I think once you hit Masters in this game, you can't D-rank. So if you get boosted, Masters is no division. That's, yeah, I don't know. Some people here don't follow Apex, but that's not healthy. You can't D-rank from Masters. I haven't played Apex in a while. I'm pretty sure you can't D-rank, because I remember I played Apex back then. I hit Masters, and then I played a few in Masters, and I'm like, I lost like 5 or 6 in a row, but I can't D-rank before 10,000 LP or RP or whatever they call it. And I'm like, yep, I'm hard stuck here unless I like get a lot better at the game. Yeah, I'm a stat. I'm a statistic at that point too. But in any case, this looks healthy, but like they are hiding the numbers here, the intervals, so that could be a little deceptive. So I wouldn't take this as like perfect distribution, like in terms of a relative thing if they don't show up, but maybe I'm wrong on that. As we continue to work towards a more balanced and competitive matches, we don't want to forget that the game is best played with friends working together. This can be a tough challenge when it's important to maintain, so like right down here, I need some friends. Thank you. This can be a tough challenge when it's important to maintain competitive integrity in our matchmaking. In our main competitive modes, we require players who group up together to be within a certain skill range of each other based on their skill tier and division. For Grandmasters, we cap the number of players who can stack up to 2. That's right. For those who don't know, you can only duo in Grandmasters, which is annoying because it affects it in every rank. I wanted to play ranked mystery heroes with Emong and Flats and Seagull, but we can't. We can only duo now. While these grouping restrictions work well for a good portion of our players, we still want to find ways to elevate full team competition. This also is annoying if like Lucio Ball comes out, it takes like your like other ratings and other modes, and I can't like trio and ranked Lucio Ball. which is a bit bizarre. That's how it used to work, at least. Hopefully they change it for this summer. For Season 5, we're introducing Team Q as a mid-season competitive mode. This mode will require you to be in a full group of 5 players in order to queue, but there are no grouping restrictions. This means a team composed of players with any combination of ranks can play with each other. Team Q's skill rating will be separate from your skill ratings in the comp role queue or competitive open queue and only applies to you as an individual, which means you can change teammates at any time. The rule set for Team Q will be role lock to one tank, 2 damage, 2 support heroes, so plan in advance with your team and decide who will play each role. We're also trying out Team Q as a first step to improving the core competitive experience for Overwatch 2. We considered alternate versions, including a solo queue only mode, but we wanted this to be a test alongside the availability of the current comp rule set, so as to not impact the queue times in the main mode. Players should expect matches in Team Q to be more challenging and play out differently due to having no skill rating restrictions. We look forward to hearing your thoughts on this limited time mode, which will launch on July 11th. For me, this sounds like a giant content idea. I can gather a team of top 500s and then we'll pull 1 bronze player in our team, or 1 silver player, 1 gold player, and just see how they hang or something like that, you know? That is content. Or I can play with, like, you know, a team of 4 silvers or a team of 4 bronzes and just see how that goes. There's some ideas we can work with that, you know what I mean? Anyways, that's it for this article, and yeah, see you next time. Bye.